Lana entered the diminutive cafe situated at the terminus of the street as rain began to fall at approximately 5 p.m. She ordered a latte, sat in her usual seat by the window, and reached for her phone, hovering over a message to her spouse. She then paused. He stated that he had appointments scheduled for today. He was perpetually preoccupied. In conjunction with employment, utilizing his mobile device, with items that Lana no longer had access to. She gazed towards the exterior. The world was obscured by the rain as if a thin curtain had been drawn over the city. And then entered. He donned a black shirt with sleeves that were folded up, the fabric of which was damp at the shoulders due to the rain. He sat at the cafe's far end, his gaze fixed on the ground, and ordered a solitary espresso. Lana was unable to gaze away from the porcelain cup, as he sat with one hand clasped around it, upright and composed. She was not readily attracted to strangers. However, there was something about him that made her feel seen, despite the fact that he had not yet looked at her. Afterward, he executed the action. Their gaze intersected. He refrained from smiling, and merely nodded in a courteous but deliberate manner. However, Lana perceived something that appeared to be an invitation in his gaze. She retreated. Her heart beat irregularly. She raised the cup to her lips, but she refrained from consuming it. Rather, she allowed the warmth to permeate her palms. 5 minutes later, he rose from his seat and proceeded to approach her. "I apologize," he said, his voice low and hoarse, but somehow the rain had made it warmer. "Is there a power outlet installed here? My laptop has reached the end of its lifespan." Next to her seat, she indicated the wall socket. "That is where." "I am grateful." He stooped to connect it. The scent of coffee, rain, and something musky on his skin wafted past her. Following that, he refrained from departing. Rather, he occupied the opposite seat from her. "Do you mind if I remain here for a while? You simply needed to charge, didn't you?" "Certainly. However, it was ultimately due to your efforts." "Who am I?" "The girl seated by the window, who appears to be accustomed to being overlooked." She did not respond. Her digits contracted slightly in her lap. She stated, "I am married." "I am aware. You are not even acquainted with me. But I am eager to do so." "What is the reason?" "In order that you may recall the experience of being alive prior to your marriage to another individual." She declined to respond. However, she did not request that he depart. They were enveloped in the murmur of the cafe and the sound of rain, sitting in silence. He stood and slid a card across the table, stating, "Noah, freelance photographer," as the rain subsided. "You are not required to make a call." "I may not wait." However, she made a call that evening. His flat was modest and unadorned, yet it emanated an unexpected warmth. No spouse. There are no offspring. Absence of family photographs. The only prints available are framed, street corners, elderly women wiping tears in mirrors, and the light falling on empty sidewalks. "You photograph objects that are not visually appealing," she stated, "because they are genuine." She undid her outerwear. He dispensed wine. "There are no inquiries." "No, are you certain?" Two adults who had endured an excessive number of cold evenings and were in search of warmth. When the wine was nearly depleted, he kissed her. Not hurried, not insatiable. Just like an individual who had not interacted with another individual with genuine emotion in an extended period of time. Lana's lips melted into his as if they were designed to be together as she leaned up into him. He drew her in by sliding his hand behind her neck. They kissed as if the world outside had vanished. He carried her to the bed as if she were a fragile, precious object. Her dress unraveled from her shoulders and cascaded down her waist. Skin came into contact with skin. Breaths became entangled. His fingers meticulously traced each contour of her body as if they were painting with sensation. He was not in a hurry. Each embrace was significant. Each contact was significant. She held her breath as his hand slipped between her thighs, and then she trembled from the inside out. She murmured, "It has been a considerable amount of time since someone has touched me in this manner. Not everyone is aware of the process." He kissed her neck, torso, and stomach. Lana bit her lip. She was unable to recall the last time she had complained in that manner. He entered her at a leisurely pace, inch by inch, as if he wished to ingrain the sensation in his memory. She encircled him with her legs. Her respiration became increasingly labored. His movements, which were both steady and profound, caused her to lose her bearings. There is no spouse, absence of morality, no remorse, only heat. This is the sole item. As she approached the edge, she gingerly clawed at his back. He gazed into her eyes and murmured, "You are not required to be flawless. You simply require affection in this manner." They were left to remain in silence after the event had concluded. The warmth of a hand holding hers and the rhythm of heartbeats. Noah was still asleep when she departed before dawn. There is no remark, no farewell. She did not even retrieve the earring that she had left beneath the pillow. However, the linens retained the perfume's aroma. Her spouse was still asleep when she returned to her flat. She entered the restroom. Water was activated. Additionally, she wept, not as a result of conscience. However, for the first time in years, she recalled that she was still a woman. The story's just beginning. There are more broken hearts and dark secrets ahead. Hit like, subscribe, and keep exploring with Love Missteps.